A very good afternoon to you and many thanks for joining us on Citizen at 1. I am Kirigo Ngarwa. The High Court has declined to issue orders to block President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto from attending the International Criminal Court trials. The National Conservative Forum had moved to court yesterday seeking the orders. Justice Weldon Korir, however, directed that the respondent file and serve their submissions and the matter be had on the 9th of September. The applicants in the suit argue that the two, President Kenyatta and his deputy Ruto, should only go to The Hague after they complete their term in office. The organization says if the two leave the country to attend the ICC trials, then the country may be unstable. The trial against Deputy President William Ruto and Joshua Arap Sang is set for Tuesday next week, while that of the president will be in November. National Assembly Majority Leader Aden Duale has defended a move to have Parliament reconvene to pave the way for Kenya to pull out from the Rome Statute that established the International Criminal Court. He says this is in Kenya's national interest. Speaking on Citizen TV's morning show Cheche, Duale said Parliament is set to debate the motion on withdrawal tomorrow. Duale was taken to task on whether the move had been informed by sycophancy and would backfire on President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto, who have vowed to cooperate with the Hague-based court.
People who are penning, who have suffered injustice, who need justice.
You know, the divide here, David, the divide here is, and in any other motion, like any other bill, my anticipation is that there are those who will be pessimistic and those who will look at this bill from a different angle. And I have nothing against those who want to tie the motion on the bill that I'm introducing to the preservation of the two leaders.
Okay.
I mean,
the one who is doing it so because of your urgency.
No.
If you did it after, you couldn't understand.
No, I'm sure.
But since now you are doing it this urgently,
I'm sure from my experience in Parliament, whether this motion was coming on the 17th or on the 5th or next year, the divergent line will still be there.
Okay.
I mean, but I can tell you for sure is that the way we do a critique of our own constitution, the way you're doing a critique of even the judiciary and the institution that we created. In 2010, we created institutions, independent, reformed. But today, down the line, and I agree with you, the expectation of those institutions to the Kenyan people, we have not yet achieved. Hopefully, and I pray we will achieve one day.
Right. You seem to be failing to convince us here that this is not a demonstration of loyalty, sycophancy, if we want to be extreme. But have you considered, and several of our viewers are pointing this out, that your motion could actually backfire on the president and the deputy president because they have stated that this is a personal challenge and they have stated that they will cooperate with the International Criminal Court. And so you seem to be at odds.
One, I think I have a history. History will judge me. I mean, I have never been a sycophant. But again, on the idea of divergent views, I don't mind if people call me sycophant. But on loyalty, yes, we are a coalition.
So this is a demonstration of loyalty?
No, we are a coalition. I'm a leader of a coalition in Parliament. I will be loyal to the agenda of that coalition. If it is in the interest of the Kenyan people, I will be loyal to the leadership of the coalition, and so be it for me.
Right. So backfiring, your motion backfiring.
But on backfiring, I can tell you, those are the divergent views. For me, from where I sit, and where the Jubilee coalition sit, and where the membership sit, what is there before the ICC is the legal process, particularly at the stage where it has reached.
Striking Nairobi County workers have for the second day running remained defiant, saying their strike will not be called off until their dues are paid. The strike has affected operations in some of the public facilities managed by the county government, including Pumwani Maternity Hospital and the city mortuary. A section of the county assembly members have come out in support of the workers, saying their salaries must be reviewed. County Governor Evans Kidero maintains the strike is illegal.
The standard of living in this city has skyrocketed, and the salary they are getting are meager, which cannot sustain them. We are supporting them, and we are with them, and we are not going to allow the governor to retrench any staff of this county.
Nairobi Senator Mike Mbuvi Sonko has challenged the youths to consider engaging in performing arts to earn a living instead of relying on white-collar jobs which are not forthcoming. Speaking during Mwafaka Award ceremony here in Nairobi, the senator committed himself to striving to create avenues through which youths can earn a living. The Mwafaka Awards that seek to promote talent growth saw some top gospel musicians being honored, including Ringtone and Gloria Muliro. The Nairobi senator also scooped an award for the role model of the year. The senator handed Gloria Muliro cash award for winning the awards. Another $500,000 shillings was handed over for the purchase of sanitary towels for the needy, and offered a chopper to help in the distribution.
Okay, to the youth from Nairobi County, we are done with politics. Now we want to move this country forward. And as your senator, I'm promising again that I'm going to honor all the pledges I made when I was campaigning. Mimi na offer na volunteer mujipange in groups. The government is about to disburse the 6 billion ile ilikuwa set aside to empower our youth and our women. So mwende mujipange in groups, come to my office. You don't need an appointment to see me. Nita sponsor, nita register all youth groups in Nairobi. I'll pay for the fees required for you guys to be registered.
Head teachers have issued a 2-day ultimatum to the government over the delay in releasing free primary education funds. Should the funds not be disbursed within 48 hours, the head teachers say they will be forced to send pupils home, as suppliers who are already owed huge amounts of money in debt have stopped delivering the much needed learning material. The delay in disbursement of the funds has seen staff in most schools go without salaries for months. Speaking during the closing ceremony of the 3-day Kenya Primary Schools Heads Association conference in Mombasa, the head teachers and other stakeholders also took issue with the manner in which the free laptop project is being implemented.
Disaster in our schools. We are giving the government up to Friday to disburse funds to schools, failure to which we shall tell the heads to surrender students back at home until when the government, who are now playing the role of surrogate parents, meets its obligation.
Giving the government a notice that they must release the money, failure to which the teachers have to withdraw their services, because we cannot deliver a service, you cannot offer a service where children are suffering. So the government must take this thing seriously, and we are challenging the cabinet secretary in charge of treasury, Mr. Rotich, kindly give issues of financing of education in this country a priority.
Nyandarua County is set to benefit from bilateral relations with the Chinese city geared towards boosting the tourism industry of the county and also in the improvement of the agricultural sector. County Governor Daniel Waithaka Mwangi says the relation is a noble opportunity for the Nyandarua residents. Waithaka, who was part of the delegation that recently accompanied President Uhuru Kenyatta on a trip to China, said he had the opportunity to visit Wonjin district within Jiangsu city, where he signed a letter of intent and a memorandum of understanding that will help boost the economy of Nyandarua. He said the relations with China will help improve the field of science, business, technology, culture, sports, education, among others.
My trip to China with a group that went with the president, I had an opportunity to go to Wujin district in China. In fact, it is called Wujin district in Shanghai city, in the People's Republic of China. And we had a very lively discussion with the mayor and the people running or doing the administration of the district. And we agreed to have a letter of intent which I signed on behalf of Nyandarua County. And we expected them to come before the end of the year to see where Nyandarua County is, as I did when I went to China. I saw where Wujin city or district is.
Now, the High Court in Kisumu has this morning dismissed an election petition filed against Kisumu West MP Olago Alwoch by his opponent Rosa Buyu. Justice Hilary Chemitei stated that the irregularities were not serious enough to change the election results and therefore declared Alwoch the bona fide MP for the constituency. Alwoch was elected on a Ford Kenya ticket while Buyu was the ODM candidate. Following the court verdict, Olago's supporters took to the streets of Kisumu City to celebrate, while Rose Buyu accepted the court verdict and called on her supporters to remain peaceful. And in Kakamega, the election of Raphael Otalo as the Lurambi MP was also upheld this morning.
But he continued to use
Now, schools reopened this week, and for many parents, this means grappling with the headache of ensuring the children leave and return home safely from school. Often, they have no option but to trust in whatever transport that is offered by schools or by public or private vehicles that pick and drop their children at the learning institution. But just how safe are our children on the road to or from school? Well, Evelyn Omboy discusses some of the unorthodox means in which our children are transported in the following reports.
A group of school children wait in line for transport that will take them to school in Bisil town, Kajiado. Only that their means of transport is not your typical school bus, but this Toyota Probox. Schools reopened this week across the country, and with it, an influx of school-going children across most towns. Kajiado's situation, however, begins being different when such children board such vehicles. Notice how over 10 pupils wait to enter this Probox that ordinarily should carry only 5 people, including the driver. Children are forced to fit in the car's trunk, with others even forced to sit with the driver. We trail this KBM and watch as it passes police checkpoints along the Namanga-Kajiado Road without being stopped, only stopping for the pupils to alight at their destination. What may look shocking to many, but what is a norm here in Kajiado.
Kubeba watu hapa nyuma kama mbuzi, watoto wa shule ni riski sana, na ukiangalia kwa barabara tuko na security.
Wanaweka watu 7 kwa boot, pale mbele wanaweka watu 3 kwa wenye wa driver, alafu hapo katikati pia wanaweka watu 10, yani nakula problem na beba watu kama 25 hivi.
But it seems the transport problem is not a preserve of the children alone. Have a look at this Land Rover, for example, where passengers have even resorted to occupying its exterior, women and children included.
Wanalipa 50, badala walipe 100, wanalipa 50 wanaingia kwa boot, unaona?
And worse, even animals as goats and sheep are also squeezed into the tiny spaces together with the passengers. The weight, though too much for such vehicles, not an issue as they bring more and more items, even running after the vehicles, hoping to squeeze into every available space.
Hata wengi hata waoni kule wanaenda. Manake ukiangalia wengine mpaka unaona wamekaa na driver unamwona ameketi na watu watatu hapo mbele ambapo ni hatari.
Anafaa kuwa na limit ya kubeba watu. Pia askari wakuwe na waangalifu sana, waangalie watu kwa barabara vile hizo gari zinabeba watu.
Back in the city, and though not as outrageous, some of the school buses we encountered failed to ensure such basic safety measures as indicated in the safety standard manuals for schools provided by the Ministry of Education. The manual, for example, states that schools with transport vehicles must be fitted with appropriate seats and seat belts, with each seat and seat belt designated for one child. The manual also states that an assistant shall be responsible for ensuring proper behavior of the learners and ensure proper sitting arrangements. On the roads, though, and most of such buses are seemingly lacking in supervision, with numerous children forced to sit together in such buses. The 60 km/h limit issued for the buses is also one that has been hard to implement if our survey is anything to go by. Kajiado's situation, though dire, is not isolated, with many now moving away from blaming traffic police officers and authorities, most of whom either consciously or subconsciously turn a blind eye to such situations.
Kuna manisa, kuna hizi ndogo, waingize wachana na maprobox. Probox ilitolewa ya kukombolewa kama taksi, lakini sio kwamba ni matatu.
Wasioverload watu kwa nini? Wakiona gari imejaa watafute gari ingine waingie wasafiri kwa usalama.
If we are to take any lessons from the tragic Kisii Road accident in July this year that claimed the lives of up to 20 children, then the reopening of schools should see us reopen our focus on road safety for Kenyans in general, but especially for school-going children. After all, prevention is better than cure. Evelyn Wambui, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Thank you, Evelyn, for that report. To move on, and a 10-year-old girl was today rescued from a village in Kajiado where she had been married off to a 50-year-old man as a second wife. The girl, who has never stepped into classroom, was rescued by the area county officials in conjunction with teachers from Kajiado AIC Girls Secondary School. This is the second case after a similar one was reported last week, where a 16-year-old was saved from marrying a 35-year-old. Evelyn Wambui with the details.
A 10-year-old girl in school uniform walks away from our glare and remains quiet throughout our time here. She is unable to speak in any other language apart from her native, but this does not mask the fact that she understands all too well what is happening. Her teachers talked to her hours after she was rescued from Ilodokilani village in Kajiado, where she had been married off to a 50-year-old man.
Our responsibility in the school is to take care of these rescue girls, make sure that we are their parents, we take care of them, we feed them, we give them a conducive environment to get a better education.
This 10-year-old is, however, lucky. Medical examinations show that she is fit to begin her education. It, however, is not the same for the 16-year-old who a week ago was rescued from Ngatatoek village, from where her 35-year-old husband lived. Medical examinations showing that she is already pregnant. The teachers, however, are adamant that she is still able to continue with her education. Officials of Kajiado say theirs is a mission to cut off the roots of this retrogressive culture that will allow the girl child there to finally get 100% chance at an education. Evelyn Wambui, Citizen at 1.
A family in Samburu County is counting losses following an attack by hyenas that maimed and killed their sheep. Residents of Losuk woke up to find about 30 sheep seriously injured by the hyenas overnight. 8 from the herd were killed in the night attack, while 20 others are still missing. Losuk residents are now calling on Kenya Wildlife Service to take measures and hunt down the hyenas, adding that this was not the first time such an attack was taking place.
Nasikia uchungu sana kwa sababu nimefanya investment kuweka mbuzi na kurikava mbuzi zaidi ya 30 kwa muda mfupi ni ngumu sana. Sasa ningeomba tu watu ambao wanafanya investment kwa kuweka mifugo waweze kufanyia compensation in case ya loss kiasi hiyo.
Well, time to catch your breath now, but I'll be back with the Forex report. Bernard Ndong will be joining us for sports news. Don't go too far.